Hey, how y'all doing? So, got a couple things today. You might have heard or will hear that the FBI foiled Michigan's governor's kidnapping, Gretchen Whitmer, kidnapping by a militia group. Well, this militia group isn't what I would typically call a militia group. They're anarchists. They're anti-police, as shown on their YouTube videos. And they're basically Antifa. They call themselves a militia. So don't let them wrap this all around everything. Well, this is militia, militia, militia. This is Antifa, Antifa, Antifa. All right. Other thing I got, we broke another record last month, September. More guns were sold in September than any other month since they started keeping records 27 years ago, I think. I'm not sure about that, but somewhere around there. Which beat the previous record, which was set in August. And the main reason, something like 40% of these are first time buyers, which means we have over 5 million first time gun owners in this country. Let me just say this, if you're a first time gun owner and you went out and bought one because you felt you needed one, hey, I take my hat off to you. But get some training and learn how to use it. A gun does not hurt anybody. A gun in the wrong hands is dangerous to everybody. So whether you go take a class, and there's plenty of good cheap classes out there. As a matter of fact, if you're a lady, a couple of the gun stores that do concealed carry here in my area, they do a ladies only class. And they go in depth about how to handle the gun, how to shoot it, how to clean it. They do an exceptional job. So if you're a first time gun owner, you know nothing about guns, then please get some training. Make us all safe. Now, the reason that these guns are flying off the shelves is because people are worried about a civil war after the election. I believe there's going to be violence, but I tell you, the only way that I actually see a civil war is if Trump loses and it's obvious that they cheated, which in my view is the only way he's going to lose. And then I think you're going to see the right rise up. Now that's bad news. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys and girls have never been to war. And there's a lot of people out there claiming civil war, civil war, civil war. Let me tell you, you don't want to be part of a war. You don't want to be around a war. You want to be as far away from the war as possible. But when they come to your door, you have a responsibility to yourself, your family, your property to protect it. So be prepared. I want to go in real quick. Now, if Trump wins, which I think is going to happen, and especially if they take back the House, which I think there's a chance that may happen, then there's going to be a lot of violence from the left. But I think what's going to happen at that point is they pretty much already shot their wad. We know their capabilities, what they can do. They can go in and burn down Portland, Minneapolis, Seattle, try and do Washington, D.C. That's not going to happen. But New York City, blah, blah, blah. They can even get out in the suburbs of a few of these cities. But after that, they're neutered. I remember some of them were driving from Milwaukee, I think it was, to Washington, D.C. when they were going to do that D.C. protest. And they were harassing rural people all along the way. And they went into New Bedford, or is it Bedford or New Bedford? I lived right 30, 40 miles from it. I think it's New Bedford, PA, and got shot. And that's what's going to happen. If they come into my town, they're going to get shot. It's as simple as that, and they know it. So the cities, look, this is what you need to plan on. And I have my own concerns because I haven't been able to buy ammo since March. And I do a lot of my shooting in December, January, February because the fire damage is a lot lower and I don't have to worry about starting a fire by, sparks on a rock. I don't go to a range. I live out in a rural area. And so I did a lot. I got a new 9mm carbine, and I did a lot of shooting. I probably put 2,000 rounds through that bad boy. And then all of a sudden I went down to buy some ammo, and I wasn't paying attention. And every shelf was empty. I'm like, what's going on here? I walk into Sportsman's Warehouse, and it's like Christmas there, especially when you got around the guns. Everybody's buying guns. I wasn't really paying attention because I've got guns, you know. So my ammo, to me anyway, is low, but that's enough, you know. And but know your environment. Now, the one thing that the wife and I are going to do, we're going shopping bigly, the president would say, sometime around the week before the election. And we're going to stock up. And we always have at least 3 to 4 months of food on hand anyway. But we're going to stock up bigly and get that done. Now, again, I live out in an area where they got to make an effort to get here. And once they get here, they're not going to like the reception they receive. So me personally, I don't worry about them coming and doing damage to my family, my property, anything like that. If you live in the city, that's when you got to be concerned. And I mean, these idiots were trying to set apartment buildings on fire. That Mayor Ted Wheeler joke. Well, that's another thing. You see, these guys, they don't learn. You would think 100 and some odd days of straight rioting, the people of Portland would turn against the left. No. Wheeler's losing his election to a far left Antifa nut job who was wearing a skirt or something that had Mo and She Chavez on it. I mean, full outright commie. And he's losing to her by 11 points. I mean, these people just don't learn. But anyway, it's a little sidetrack. Sorry about that. If you live in a city, you might want to, if you got the money, vacation time, you might want to take a little vacation for a week or two, get out of the city. I know some of these cities, it's extremely difficult to buy weapons to protect yourself, like Chicago and Washington, D.C. and places like that. But New York, I think New York's almost impossible. I mean, look at alternatives, if need be. I mean, I think black powder is legal in just about every place, if I'm not mistaken. Check your own local and state laws, but there's other weapons out there to protect yourself with. A good ball back can go a long way. Make sure if you stay in the city, you've got plenty of food. I would gradually now for the next month, buy an extra case of water every couple days. Um, uh, get some extra food when you go shopping. Stock it up. I know some of you guys live basically in closets, and it's almost impossible to stock up food. But do what you can. And you know, you can buy all the survival food stuff you want. I don't. I've eaten enough MREs in my life. I buy food that I like, and my wife likes, of course, that we know we're going to eat eventually. And I just have extra of it. Like, I don't know, I've got about 15 bags of beans in there. Not a lot, but I, we like beans. And I've probably got, I don't know, 100 meals just in beans alone. And we don't do a lot of rice because my wife doesn't eat much rice, and we've got a freezer full of meat. Actually, we've got basically 3 freezers, one stand up and one top shelf and one side by side, and they're all full to the hilt. So if you're in the suburbs, that the theory is that if America does have a civil war, it's going to go along the line of the Colombian Civil War, I believe it was. And what it was the leftists controlled the cities, the right controlled the rural areas, and the fight for control of the suburbs was the main driver of that. Excuse me. That could happen in some areas in the United States. I don't see it happening a lot. The suburbs of a lot of cities in America are very, very well armed. So they might try and branch out. But if they do, it's up to the people to stop them. I still don't think that these leftist governors and are going to do anything to stop it. And I don't think they want to stop it. So if you live in a blue state, I feel for you. You live in a red state, well, I don't think you really have anything to worry about. All right, y'all have a good day. Thank you. Bye.